Okay, we're back outside now with FasTrax. We're with Ken here. Tell me about your special car, Ken.
Well, it's the first car I ever bought. I was 22 years old, about 44 years ago. And I brought me to my wedding. It brought my 3 sons home from the hospital. So it was part of the family before I had a family.
That's excellent. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
This particular car, was this the original owner your car, or is it
the original owner? I saw the car for sale in the Calgary Herald.
Yep.
And I went over to see it. And as soon as I said to the owner, I like the car, I like the color, I said, can you pop the hood? And we did. And he said, I suppose you don't want it now. And I said, why? He said, because you're the 3rd guy to look at the car, and as soon as they saw the 455 engine, they backed out. And I said, well, I don't really care. I'll take it. And so I said, well, how much you asking? And he said, $5,000. So I used my best negotiation technique that I'd learned up to that point, and I said, okay. And
good technique.
I know. I've learned a little more since then. Yeah. But I bought the car and drove it winter, summer for the first 11 years of its life. And I didn't have a lot of money, so what I did is I made sure that it never needed anything. So if I saw any little bit of rust starting, I took care of it right away. Yep. Every week I was in the wash bay cleaning underneath the car itself, and rather than on top. And people would come by and say, nobody sees that. And I said, yeah, I know, but all original body panels, all original fenders, doors, floors, quarters, so the car has never been restored, just been kept up. It's been repainted about 12 years ago, but other than that, it's the original as you're looking at it. The front bumper's never been chromed.
Fantastic.
But
so you're a second owner?
I'm the second owner.
Right. And what year did you buy it?
In 79.
79.
Yeah.
It's a passion car.
Oh yeah. I mean, I found out 10 years after I bought it, I have an article in the trunk that Hot Rod Magazine did a road test. And they said we got the baddest Cutlass S available, the 442 equipped with a 354 barrel. And then in brackets it said, we tried for a 455, but we were told they're in very, very short supply. So I contacted Oldsmobile and they came back and gave me the numbers. 143 were made, 6 imported to Canada. And that's 10 years after I bought the car. So it wasn't like I bought the car for that reason.
And then you wonder how many people didn't understand and appreciate the car and how many were written off.
Yeah. Well, we know there's we know of, what does it say now? There is 15 in the US and 3 in Canada.
Special car. See, so when I said special car, I wasn't kidding. This is a special car. So what else have you done to it other than that? Is it fairly stock otherwise, or have you done any customization?
No, the engine basically is been rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's got more horsepower, but it's been rebuilt using Oldsmobile parts. So to the non-Oldsmobile eye, as soon as I pop the hood, they look at it, it's completely stock looking.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an MSDS system put in, but I told the guys that red box, I don't want to see it.
Yeah. So
it was hidden. And people look under the hood now and they really don't realize.
It's a sleeper.
Yeah.
For lack of better terms, it's a sleeper.
Yeah, it'll give me, it's an automatic with a dual gate shifter.
Yep.
But it'll give me rubber in 3 gears.
That's awesome.
For an automatic.
Yeah. Nothing else. How about suspension? Anything done there? No, it's all pretty well stock?
Yeah, except the only thing I did was put in the polyurethane bushings.
Yep.
To give it a little stiffer.
Right.
But no, other than that, it's all factory original. And when the car was originally ordered, I asked the original owner, I called him back and I said, I can't find this shifter anywhere. And he said, oh yeah, you're not going to. And I said, so it's something you added? He said, no. He goes, I went into the dealership and I said, I want to order a car. He said, Oldsmobile was advertising, can we build one for you?
Yep.
In the mid-70s. So I said, yeah, you can build one for me. He goes, I want the 455. So they said, no problem. Turbo 400 transmission. He goes, I want a 342 posi. So they said, okay, it's not available, but we'll see what we can do. He goes, I want the dual gate shifter. I want the aluminum intake manifold for the W-30.
Yep.
and I want the exhaust manifold. So they called the factory. The factory said, no, we're not doing it. So he said, well, you tell the factory if they don't do it, I won't buy the car. I'll go and buy something else.
For sure.
So the factory was contacted again, and they said, go buy something else. So,
surprising.
Yeah. So they said, we're making so many, we don't have to, do it. So the dealer said, tell you what, order the car. We can get the parts through the parts department, because these parts are a year old.
Yeah.
We can get it through the parts department. We'll install it. So apparently they did. Now, I wasn't sure if he was BSing me, because, but I figured, why would he? I've owned the car 3 months. It's not like I can turn the car back.
Yeah.
Then at a car show a few years ago, I met a cop who said, I remember this car. And I said, really? Well, I've owned it a long time. He goes, no, I remember it in Blairmore, where the car came from. And I said, well, that's where this car's from. He goes, I know. He goes, I remember it. He goes, it was in the newspaper to come and see the special olds. And I said, I don't think it's a showroom car. And he goes, well, it was in the showroom. I said, the car was factory ordered. So when a car is factory ordered, usually as soon as it comes in, they call the owner.
Yep.
He goes, this one needed work to be done. And then it started falling into place.
Sat in the showroom for a bit.
Wow. And he says every night he was in the showroom, but at 5 o'clock, you'd see it leave the showroom and go into the service bay. And he says, and then the next morning it's in the showroom again. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. And then a third guy also confirmed that story. So the original owner, what he told me, I guess was true.
That's excellent.
And then when Oldsmobile turned 100 in 1997, they said, people who are coming down to this event, please send us pictures of your cars. So I sent a picture of my car, and then I received a letter in the mail that said, your car has been chosen by Oldsmobile to represent its year in the parade, the Centennial Parade. So they sent me that parade license plate that I put on the front and the back and drove the car in the parade.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an honor to be chosen for that.
Yeah, and this is a
76.
76.
Yeah.
And in the parade, it was kind of like a train, you were saying, right? So it's...
Yeah, they had the all the old cars. They had a lot of 1901s, the curved dash, all the way up through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then in front of me were the 1975s.
Yeah.
And behind me were the 1977s.
Right.
So it was kind of cool. There was my car. There was a Delta 88 and a Toronado representing 1976. And this one was the only 442 from 1971 to 1979.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, special car.
It was kind of nice, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, but took me to my wedding, brought my 3 sons home from the hospital, so it was part of the family before I had a family.
Absolutely. I noticed that we've got some seats, a swivel seat. Tell me about that.
Well, the swivel seats are basically so you can get into the back because they don't fold forward. And they made them from 73 to 76 in the 442. And basically, when I used to drive across country, I used to swivel the seat all the way, throw my pillow in the back and lie flat. So I could sleep in the car as well at a truck stop or something like that. They were a $93.85 option. And
back then, a lot of money.
Yeah, and if you didn't order them, you got the bench seat and the column shift rather than the floor shift.
Yeah.
More sporty option.
Absolutely. And that's the nice thing about the cars that we, it's why we have this channel. We're talking about people who, it's what's it like to own the car. Not just drive the car and drive it fast, light them up on the tires.
Oh yeah.
Which we all, when we were young, we did that. But now it's about living with the car, and it's obviously it's a livable car.
Yeah, I mean it's been to 40 states and 6 provinces. It's driven across the Golden Gate Bridge. It's driven across the Brooklyn Bridge. It's been from Montreal to Monterey. It's been from Vancouver Island to Cape Cod. So it's been everywhere, man.
It's seen, absolutely. It's seen the world.
Yeah.
At least the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, and it's never put me on the side of the road.
That's fantastic.
And 10 years ago, we drove down to California with it, and the only thing I changed was in front of the radiator, I put a puller fan. Yeah. Because I was thinking if I get caught in traffic in Los Angeles or in Vegas, with that heat,
Yep.
she could overheat. So I put this electric fan in. You can't see it, only if you look through the grill.
Yep.
And when we were down there, we drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and we hit we're on Route 66. We hit 105 degree Fahrenheit temperature when we pulled onto Las Vegas Boulevard and hit gridlock traffic.
Oh no.
I turned the fan on, and the car never overheated. It just
Smart
stayed
choice
cool,
then, right?
And yeah, we pulled in. A couple of cars overheated. We had to pull into a 7-Eleven. We all popped our hoods, and people walking into the 7-Eleven say, "Hey, car show!"
Just like today.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great stories, great stories. And you just bring out the car shows now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't go out on rainy days, or it doesn't go out in the winter. Since 1987, it hasn't seen winter.
Yeah.
You know, never got stuck because of the posi traction, but
Of course.
pretty nice. And but it was painted about 12 years ago, and even the body shop said, "Holy mackerel, we don't have to order any parts for the body here."
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
All the panels, all the trims,
They're
all original.
The weather stripping around the windows haven't been changed.
Really?
That's original weather stripping, because they weren't making it for this car
registered in the car show,
when I had it. So I had to make sure that it wasn't going to deteriorate, so I took care of it.
Yeah.
Numbers
And so it's still original. The front bumpers have never been reformed. The wheels have never been painted.
I gotta go in and
You
check
know, the interior is all original.
any numbers
You know, the car was,
And
just really easy to keep up.
That's incredible. So what did you do to keep the rubber around the
Armor all.
Armor all. That's all you use.
People say, "Oh, you shouldn't use Armor All." Well, I didn't use Armor All in the interior. I used
Yep.
it on the rubber pieces.
Yep.
I used it outside. But it saved my interior. It saved my weather stripping for sure.
Living proof. Look at the age of the car. Look at the condition it's in.
Yeah, 47-year-old car.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah.
That's fantastic. See, guys, that's some good advice right there. Armor all. Use it on your seals because it's going to keep them there forever.
I would
appears
put
to
it
be.
on, and then I would let it sit for a while, and it would soak into the rubber,
Yeah.
and then I'd wipe it off.
Right. Let it soak in.
Yeah.
A bit. Yep. Yep.
You know, so that kept it alive. Now they're making the rubber for it, but I don't need it. It doesn't leak and it doesn't whistle, so I
Perfect.
don't need it.
That's better than a lot of new cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. You've got a
thank you.
beautiful car, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you.